right, so UFC 156 is your latest fight, but I want to go back to what the internet says is your very first MMA fight. This crazy video popped up where I guess the video caption says it's an unsanctioned, unregulated MMA fight in New York. First of all, is there any truth to that?
Yeah, it's true. It was actually my first ever MMA fight. It was somewhere in the Bronx, in New York, and I was training for about, say, 2 to 3 weeks, and
2 to 3 weeks.
2 to 3 weeks. I've wrestled my whole life, but I was training for about 2 to 3 weeks, and the team I was training with at the time, the guy said, they have these underground fights or smoker shows, they call them. Would you like to get one? I was like, yeah, I'll jump in there, and that's what happened.
When you saw that video surface, what did you think?
It was wild because I've never seen that fight. I've never seen. It was the first time I saw that fight, so it was. It's pretty interesting to see. Obviously, I'm a little disappointed in how I looked. I've definitely made some gains in certain areas, but I just showed some toughness in that fight. A lot of people know I actually took a pretty big knee in the very beginning, and I broke an orbital bone in my face on that fight. And,
why does that not surprise me?
Yeah. So I started out my career with a bang, I guess you could say.
All right. So how prevalent are these smoker shows, as you call them? How prevalent is underground fighting?
That was the only one I did. I probably maybe been to one other one, a long time ago. But from what I understand, they still do exist in New York City area, and I think that's just one more reason that New York should sanction MMA, so those smoker shows don't happen no more, because they are dangerous.
Do guys make a living doing those kind of things?
I don't know if you make a living. I believe what I did is you made $10 on every person that bought a ticket to come see it. So I had about 15 people there, so I made $150. So
oh, are you for reals?
Yeah.
For a broken orbital bone?
For a broken orbital bone.
Oh
yeah.
man. Let me ask you about your teammate Eddie Alvarez. Man, crazy situation with Eddie Alvarez. I haven't really seen a MMA fighter in this much, I guess, legal battles. But we know he wanted to come down to the UFC. The judge blocked an injunction that would have allowed him to do that. How's he holding up? I
know he's still, from reading his Twitter and just knowing Eddie, I think he still has pretty positive that now it goes to trial, and now I think both sides have to back up what they said in this injunction, and the facts got to come out. And
how upset is he?
He's upset. I mean, it's tough. He's in the prime of his career, and he wants to fight, and he wants to fight for the organization he wants to fight for, and I think he should have every right to do so.
You've both let it be known that if it were to come to it, you would fight each other. Does that still hold up?
Well, I don't know if we'd fight. We were always in different organizations, so it's not. I don't think I ever said I'd fight him. Now I'm in a weight class below him, so I don't know. That's not something we do have to worry about for a while, I don't think.
What do you think about teammates refusing to fight each other?
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. I think it's case by case, and how much you train with a guy, how close you are with him, and whatnot, and your situation in your gym. Some gyms, I think teammates aren't really that close, and others they are. We're pretty close in my gym.
So I talked to Brandon Vera. He's a regular on my show here, but Brandon Vera says, okay, listen, if you're the two best, you got to fight.
Yeah, I can see that. If it's down to the championship fight, it's best for both of you to go for that title. But I think if it can be avoided, there's millions of guys in each weight class. I'm sure you could find someone else to fight. But again, if it's number one versus number two, it might have to happen. All
right, so I got to ask you then. It's the hot button topic, right? Rory McDonald, George St. Pierre, GSP. They both let it be known they don't want to fight. What do you think about that situation? It's a crazy thing because really, as you mentioned, we don't really see it too often. Two guys in the same gym, number one and number two in the weight class, that's a very rare occurrence.
Yeah, I don't know if Rory's exactly at number two right yet. Maybe a win over a Condit will put him, pretty close. So, yeah, again, I don't know exactly how close they are and how much time they spend together training. And, you could be in the same gym and not really train that much, but I guess if it comes down to number one, number two, I guess it might have to happen.
All right. So 156. Why? It's coming on this Saturday, man. Why should people buy this pay-per-view?
Because, I mean, myself, I don't think I've ever been in a boring fight. I always bring it, and I prepare to bring it. And I know Aldo's pretty exciting himself. I'm trying to just go out there and make history and become, the third person to hold two belts in 2 different weight classes.
Isn't that amazing? Randy Couture, BJ Penn, and Frankie Edgar. That right there is a list, don't you think?
Yeah, it sounds good to me.
All right, Frankie Edgar in studio with us. Frankie, I appreciate the time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.